In the news this week, head-to-head pro and anti Pauline Hanson demonstrators face off in the city.
Plus, Census Night debacle sparked discussions over internet security.
And on Western Perspective, on the rise, WA on the fringe as the state's crime rate skyrockets.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lung and Daniel Stanislaw.
Good evening. The anti-Pauline Hanson protest in the CBD was met with strong opposition from right-wing groups. Protesters from both sides faced off at Forest Chase as anti-Hanson demonstrators condemned Islamophobia and demand refugee rights. Helene Fong begins our coverage.
It was a head-on clash waiting to happen. Two groups of protesters who were respectively supporting and against Pauline Hanson converged on Murray Street and Forest Chase. Police used horses to separate both groups as they yelled abuse towards each other. The rally was originally against Pauline Hanson's remarks on refugees, the Asian minority and the Islamic community. But the right-wing groups responded with a counter-protest. Rally organiser Sam Cavaro expressed dismay.
I think it's a worrying current in Australia that we've had Pauline Hanson and One Nation elected into the Senate, and that these people feel safe and comfortable mobilising on the streets. If Nazis feel comfortable showing that they're Nazis openly, I think it's a worrying thing for our society.
After the recent federal election, Ms Hanson's One Nation party gained 4 seats in the Senate. It's yet to see what the future holds for One Nation. Helene Fong, WAMN News.
There are fears that personal information may be compromised after the census website was allegedly hacked on census night. This prompted discussions over whether Australians should move to filling in government forms online permanently, following concerns about hackers illegally accessing personal data. Nelson Liu has a summary.
It might sound trouble-free, but filling in the census online has prompted concerns about internet security once again. The Australian Bureau of Statistics' secure census website crashed after it was allegedly hacked 4 times on Tuesday night, preventing people across the country from filling out their forms. Federal Senator Nick Xenophon has led the charge against putting names and addresses on the form, heightening concerns about personal information security. It's led to concerns about what it could mean for filling in online forms in the future with the possibility of online voting, but experts say there's little to worry about yet.
Nothing's 100% safe. But I think that the data here is in fact reasonably safe. And we all do things like internet banking, and I'm far more concerned about the integrity of my bank account that might have $10,000 in it than I'm worried about the ability to give my name and my address, or perhaps how much I earn.
Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
State-owned electricity company Western Power is facing a major restructure with the axing of 215 jobs through voluntary redundancies. But the bad news doesn't stop there, with the reports of another round of sackings coming in the next few months. The Electrical Trades Union believes the move is a sign that the government is preparing to privatise the power company.
What we're going to see is a generational change and a gap where there'll be no new jobs coming through, and again that's got a whole impact on communities, future jobs for our kids. They won't be there.
A forum was held by experts discussing whether Australia is losing the battle on drugs. The recent spike of marijuana and methamphetamine usage has sparked the debate over government policies and how authorities can respond effectively against drugs. The meeting was endorsed by 23 action groups across the state.
Legalising ice or heroin is just bad news. If you look at what's worked in the Swedish situation, they have gone from one of the highest users of drugs in the world to one of the lowest.
Whenever I've talked about the Swedish model to people in terms of the drug issue, for most people say, hey, that makes a lot of sense. It does mean that we would need to have significantly greater rehab facilities available.
The latest report from Boeing shows that missing aircraft MH370 plunged into the ocean at a whopping speed of 20,000 feet per minute. The plane's crash site remains a mystery as the Defense Department fails to find the aircraft in the southern Indian Ocean. There are speculations now that the plane might crash outside the current search area, as the latest data confirmed the plane's sharp dive before the crash. MH370 disappeared back in 2014 with 239 passengers and crew members on board the ill-fated flight.
Donald Trump has sparked a new wave of controversy over his comments on gun ownership laws. He appealed to gun owners to prevent his rival Hillary Clinton of abolishing the right to bear arms. Mr. Clinton responded by saying Mr. Trump's remarks are dangerous, while other Democratic senators also criticised his comments. The remarks put Mr. Trump and the Republicans back into the spotlight over recent campaign disputes.
And finally this week, a bigger than normal rainbow sculpture has been installed in Fremantle, and guess what? The landmark is made out of 9 recycled sea containers. The artwork was installed with 3 cranes as local residents looked on with curiosity. The eye-catching sculpture was designed by prominent local artist Marcus Canning, which cost the city of Fremantle $145,000.
I love that it does draw on Freo's industrial heritage and blends it with both our arts and our culture, but also that sense of hope and all the things that rainbows kind of represent for the community. And also, I love that kids are going to love it and get something from it just as adults will.
And those are the top stories you need to know this week.
We have the latest news on our website and Facebook. Here's Nelson Liu with Western Perspective. Enjoy your week.
See ya.
Thanks, Ivan and Danielle. Hello and welcome to Western Perspective. I'm Nelson Liu.